Hello, my name is Joanne Hewins. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I have a blog at lovetocreate.typepad.com. I'm so happy to join you today. I want to show you how to make this card. This is part of the Love to Stamp blog hop, and our theme for the month is embossing. So it could be embossing with a embossing folder, embossing with embossing powder. We have the, what is that called? The embossing cream-like stuff. I'm not sure what you call that right this moment. But anyway, I'm going to go on because I'm not using that. So this is the card, and we'll be using today the Sparkling Snowflakes stamp set. And it is in the mini catalog, and it is actually, you turn a page, on page 39 right here, Sparkling Snowflakes, and it's a bundle. It also comes with a punch, but we're not using that punch today. Maybe I should have done that. We're also going to be using this paper that's in the mini catalog. It's called the Snowflake Magic paper. And these are the papers that are in that. That might take your eyes out, but those are beautiful. And they're 12 by 12, and there are 2 each in a pack. And just lovely. We'll be using this white piece. And then another piece of paper that we're going to use is called the Soft Shimmer Compact. Oh, I can't talk today. The Soft Shimmer Combo Pack. Soft Shimmer Combo Pack. Sometimes the mouth gets a little flustered here. So this one is in the annual catalog. And maybe you've seen this picture. This picture is confusing to me. So let me show you that this paper is right here. And it has the colors of, actually I don't have them all here. I'm missing Berry Burst. I think I've used it all. But it has Berry Burst, Bubble Bath, Night of Navy, Lost Lagoon, and Pretty Peacock. So those are just gorgeous. They have a beautiful shimmer to them. So let me place those out of the way, and we will get started with our card. So I am going to start with a piece of thick basic white, and this is 5.5 by 8.5. I scored and folded on 4 1/4, and I did use my bone folder to make that. I didn't realize that was on there, but I used my bone folder to make a good fold. Now I have cut this piece from the Snowflake Magic paper, and I've cut it very close to the same size as the front. I think it would be 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So I'm just going to glue that. We're going to go over and do it no matter what our disasters we might have. We're just going to do it. So I'm going to put this on the front of the card. Now I usually try to hold mine kind of from corner to corner to help me get everything straight. And I think that'll do it. And I use the multi-purpose glue because I like that it gives me a little bit of give so that I can move it if I need to. So this is going to open here. And I'm going to go, and I think I'll wait on that, and we'll do the center piece first. And then we'll come back in and do that other. So I have a piece of basic white right here. And the basic white is cut at 5 1/4 by 4, and I do not believe that can be what that is. It is, and I've got to turn my paper backwards because I messed up the other side. It is 4 1/4 by 3. That makes a little bit more sense. I'll put these in the description of the video. And I'm going to use some color on this. It's going to look a little bit silly, but we're going to use Fresh Freesia and Pool Party, and I'm going to use the blends that go with that. Now forgive me, this one is one of the small blends, but it is not Stampin' Up. And I had this before Stampin' Up did the small ones, so I'm not going to just get another one and replace it when there's nothing wrong. But anyway, there they are. So we're going to use both of these colors and just cover the front of this. Now it's okay for me to leave a little bit of white if I want to. So I'm going to go ahead, and I had re-inked that pad. I thought it would be darker than that, so I'm glad it's not so bad. Notice that I started off of the page and kind of tapped off some of the extra ink because I don't want it to be super dark, but I am going to have to make it a little bit darker than I have it there. So I'm going to put a little bit in there, and I'm just going to make that a little bit darker. You can always add. You can't really take the color back off once you've got it on there. And I just kind of did that from the corners, but you don't have to. You can do it any way you wish. Okay, I'm going to set that aside, and we'll work on the freesia. And I'm just going to kind of blend those together. Oops, now that I got a little darker, I think it'll be all right. It's not going to make that big a difference because a lot of this is going to be covered up. Now the technique that we're using is called Joseph's coat. Joseph's coat, like a coat of many colors. And I think that's good enough for that. So I'm going to go ahead and close those up. And I'm going to bring in a large block. This is the largest block that Stampin' Up makes. And I'm just wanting to add a lot of the snowflakes. So I think I added all 6 of the snowflakes to this block, and I'm going to be stamping them all at once. So I'm going to come in and use the embossing buddy. This will take away any static cling that might be in there, and hopefully if it's a little bit wet in any way, this will take care of that. So I've covered that completely. And I'm going to bring in my Versamark. Actually, here it is. Thought I'd forgotten that for a moment. And I'm just going to, with it turned up this way, I'm going to ink up all of the snowflakes. Okay. And then I'm going to stamp. Gosh, I think I'll do it this way. Oh, that'll take it the whole thing. I won't have to restamp again. So I'm going to stamp that. And I hope that that paper is dry enough that my powder will not stick everywhere. Okay. When I made the first one, I had my white paper larger, and then I ended up cutting it down. So that surprised me that it would work on just that one sheet, but that's much better. I don't have to try to piece it. Now, I don't think you can see. There's a little bit of shiny where the snowflakes are, but it's just about impossible to see. Okay, I think there's a piece I might not have gotten yet. Okay, just going to give it a little blow. That's not necessary, but anyway, I did it. Okay, and I'm going to bring in the heat tool. This is going to make some noise for a few moments, but just bear with me. I think you can see that it's starting to get shiny in places. But probably not a lot for you to look at, since what I put on was the clear embossing powder. So that takes care of the embossing part of our challenge this month, but I'll be doing some other embossing as well. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is take, this is the boho blue. Usually people use a really dark color when they're doing this, but I decided to just do the boho blue. And I'm just going to rub it. I'm going to bring in just a piece of paper here to do that on. I'm just going to rub it over the surface of this paper. Gosh, I guess I should get it where you could see it, huh? Okay. Okay, so now, get that closed. Now I'm going to bring in a piece of paper towel, and I'm just going to rub it over the card. Now this is a resist, an ink resist, and it will not take the color where the snowflakes are embossed in clear embossing powder. So there is our little section that we had. Excuse me. So I'm going to take some glue and glue this to the center of this pink shimmer paper. So a little frame there. I think I'll turn that over and push it from this side. Okay, and I'm going to be using the silver and white paper, or silver and white ribbon. I'm not sure this is available right now, but it will be available again. So let me just cut a strip of that. Okay, and I'm going to tie this in the center like this. And, okay, let me step away just a second. I had a class today, and I took my glue dots in the other room, so I'm not going to be able to use it. But what I would usually do right here is put a glue dot under all of that, and that would hold everything in place so that my ribbon would be tight around this piece when I tied it. And I think I did okay. Now what I could do if that didn't work is I could tape it on the back in some way to make it all look a little bit better. So that actually I'm kind of happy with that bow right there. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and add this to the center of the card. And I just think that is beautiful. Isn't that pretty? So we're going to now do a tag for our card. So I've got a piece of white here. I'm going to do my embossing buddy again because we're going to be embossing. Okay, and I actually don't have the saying for that. That saying is from So Sincere, and I probably do have that. Right here it is. And let me get a block for that. Okay, there, that does work. And here is the stamp set from So Sincere. That is in the mini catalog. And I'm going to take my Versamark. I'm just going to tap that lightly because you don't want your Versamark to get on the edges. It'll stamp on the edges as well. So I'm going to stamp that straight down, straight up. And this time I'm going to bring in the silver embossing powder. Okay, and we'll emboss that. Let me bring my heat tool back in. This shouldn't take as long this time because it's already warm. But I thought this silver embossing powder would just look so good because of the silver on that ribbon. Okay, there you go. Now I'm going to bring in some dies to cut this out. Let me move some of this away. And I'll bring in my machine. Hopefully you'll be able to see. And I'm going to use, which tag did I use? I think I used the smallest tag. This is the Tailor-Made Tags dies. I use it quite a lot, so I'm going to bring the smallest one. And I'm going to cut out, oops, this saying. And I'm going to put it like that. I think that will be fine if I can get this just put down easy. But if you look and notice, the tag that I have on the card isn't that long. So let's see what we can do to shorten our tag. So I'm going to take this same piece and I'm going to move it up here. Now you can kind of feel when it locks in to where those holes already were made. And so mine is locked in. I've got some removable tape I'm going to put there to kind of hold that in place. And let me just cut that. We'll hope nothing moved. Okay, and I'll get that out of the way. You can see the bottom has come off. Okay, and so here's our tag. Looks pretty good, doesn't it? So that gives you another little use for your tag. So let me bring back in this card. And I have some silver. This is the Simply Elegant trim, and I love to use that especially this time of year. So I'm going to take that and run it through here and through here. Actually, I'm going to fold it in half. And put it through here, the folded in through, and then pull these other ends through there. Well, it's not that hard, but I just lost where I thought the ribbon was. So I'm going to pull that. We're going to get those and pull that through like that. And then I'll thread that through there. My ribbon doesn't want to behave. My trim doesn't want to behave. Okay, so I will put that kind of like that. And just tie that kind of like that. And then I'll tie it again. I'm going to kind of try to hold my tag where I want it to be. Okay, and then I can just kind of leave that. I can trim it a little if I wish. And we'll put a dimensional under there to hold that in place. Well, I'm wondering just how uncoordinated one person can look. Okay, so the last thing that I'm going to do to my card is add some bling to it. And I had that laying right here just a minute ago. Here it is. And I'm using the adhesive-backed glitter sequins. That is not what I used on my original card, but I have since used that kind up. So we're going to do this. And let me just add some of those. These are really neat because they're very flat. They wouldn't add a lot to your mailing. So I'm going to put some different sizes here and there on that. Maybe I'll put one right in the middle. We'll put maybe one down here on the tag. And another one maybe right in there. Okay, so there we go. That's how I made the card. And I hope that you enjoyed seeing all of the steps. It looks like it's a really hard card to make, but it really just isn't that bad. Thank you so much for listening. I'll see you next time.